Oh, you knew this was coming. As soon as Forza 7 added the brand new IndyCar to the game, you know we had to do a bit of an Indy 500 simulation. Now, I use the word simulation very lightly because Forza 7 is pretty light on the simulation, especially when it comes to the Indy cars. But how could you not, for the first time, take an opportunity to take out the Universal Aero Kit in a console game and do an Indy 500? So what we're going to do is a 50-lap, 25% distance race with 23 AI cars. Now, we'll probably run away from the AI, though I'm going to put 3 mandatory quick stops on. The AI will be running their road course wings, and because of that, I am going to also allow the 2017 cars to run in this race, just to add a little bit of visual variety. And of course, you'll notice my fantastic Land Speed Racing livery. This, of course, is my colors that I like to use: the black, the purple, the fluorescent yellow, and the white. And I was going to originally run with blank side pods, but you will notice that we've got filled side pods with big logos from Blockbuster. And the guy who sold me the sponsorship said, of course he could pay me. He just needed a little more time, and you know, he looked like a trustworthy guy. I think we're gonna get our sponsorship money, no problem. So without any further ado, let's go racing in the Forza 7 Indy 500 on Indy 500 month. Here we are at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Forza 7, ready to go racing here at the Indy 500. The greatest spectacle in racing. Hopefully we can bring the Blockbuster car into Indy 500 immortality. Let's get going. Alright, here we go. The Blockbuster 91, ready to go racing here at the Indianapolis 500. We are sat not in a bad position, really, all things considered, as we are underway and racing off into turn 1 for the first time. The AI are on unbeatable. Whoops, and Connor Daly's just going to immediately shove me into the wall. That was very quick. I've got a very long gearing in this car. We can run like 249 or something miles per hour with it. And look at the suspension work here on the back straightaway as we're up to 228 miles per hour. And we go through turn 3. This track model isn't the best. Ooh, as we get a little bit of contact there. We're definitely not going to use the rewind button. Whoa, as everybody slows down because one car was coming into the pits. And I'll take all those positions, thank you very much. So now we're going to have to try to fall in and pass whoever this is up in front. It looks like maybe a Joseph Newgarden car. And we've got another Scott Dixon behind us. This car I'm driving originally was a Scott Dixon, but it's not anymore, obviously. It's my car. And here comes Dixie looking to the outside, but he's unable to get around. Ooh, big push in turn 3. I did set this car up to push, because I don't really want it, the back end coming around and spinning out on me. It'll also be interesting to see how the quick stops end up affecting this race, because it looks like we've got a bunch of cars coming out of the pits, and of course we have to do 3 quick stops during this race, which is going to be quite the challenge as we get up behind Joseph Newgarden. We're going to try to make the pass here down the back stretch, which I'll dive to the inside and pick up the lead of the race. But it's still early days. What lap are we on? We're on 3, so we don't need to start making pit stops yet. Oh, and Scott Dixon followed me through, and Joseph Newgarden comes into the pits. So this is definitely going to take on the feeling of an endurance race, that's for sure, as we've got merging traffic there as James Hinchcliffe comes back out onto the racetrack. And right up in front of the second placed Scott Dixon. So thank you very much for that, Hinchcliffe. Appreciate it, buddy. Let's go to a different camera. Let's go to the outside view for a little while. Yeah, I think the banking is way too high on this track. as we go underneath Graham Rahal. Graham Rahal! As Lee Diffie would call it. And we're getting an awfully big toe here in the middle, in the back of the pack. We were at 239 there into turn 1. I wasn't even really paying attention as we're going to try to get under another Graham Rahal. Like, Graham's running at the back a lot as we're going to go underneath him. Make the pass. Nice and clean, 236 into turn 3. It's only lap 5 of the race, so long way to go. We don't have to make any pit stops yet. I think I should probably go 10, 20, 30 on the quick stops. What do you think? Of course, you'll be watching this a lot later than I've been recording it, but oh, somebody set off a smoke bomb in turn 1. Now somebody's about to get arrested. The yellow shirts, as the security guards are known at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, would not take too kindly to that at all, and probably not the FBI either, as we've got a 4-wide battle down here, 4 or 5 cars all coming together. Oops, as I hit a cone. Cone killing. And we're going to try to send it around the outside of... Can't remember if this is Newgarden or Montoya. I guess it's Montoya because it's the 2017 cars. Right? No, it's Newgarden. I'm wrong. So we've got another Newgarden car up here. We'll just call it Montoya. Or we'll call it Will Power. We'll call the silver car Will Power, even though he's running a black car in this year's Indy 500. And that little bit of a lift in that corner kind of screwed us up just a little bit. There's the sim racing, hardcore sim racing FOV. Oh, camera angle. Whoa, that was awfully close. Made a little bit of contact with Newgarden there, or Will Power as we're going to call him in this race. There's the not-so-TV camera on board. Look at all my sponsors on the front of the car. So we'll try to get underneath Stefan here. Oh, they all slowed up. Thank you. Around the outside. No, a little scrape of the wall. Not great. Not great driving there from yours truly. But we are about to make our first pit stop of the day. Got 2 laps before that needs to happen as we slice underneath Connor Daly. Or I guess if we're being modern, that would be Matthias Laced. And then underneath Simon Pagenaud very easily into turn 1. These cars have so much grip. It's so weird because I've been playing other games like Indy 500 Evolution, IndyCar Series 2005, and the cars have so little grip compared to Forza. And I know theoretically this is a more modern car than 2005 or 1965, but yeah, lots of grip. Lots of grip. I did turn on one of the mods to try to make myself a little more money during this race. Perfect turns. I haven't had one perfect turn yet. Maybe this will be one. Nope, still not a perfect turn. And we are on lap 10, so this will be quick stop time for David as we run in the draft of whoever this lap car is. In fact, we're getting caught up by Connor Daly there as we go 238 down the straight, killing more cones. Thank God this isn't Forza 4 where that going down there would be instant stop. Ooh, as I lock the brakes up going in, I'm going to try to get to 60 miles per hour because I think that's the proper speed. We have some cars that have not made a quick stop yet. Interesting. So La Canu Padule takes the lead, and we'll make a stop here. It looks like a lot of cars are staying out on the lead lap. We're going to fall all the way back to 10th, even though the 12th place car is in the pits. And now we've just got to wait until we get back out into the race. Here we go. And this is kind of the tough way to do things, is we've got approaching traffic. It said there was approaching traffic, but no, there wasn't. But anyway, lap 11, P11. pretty decent spot. Oh no, there was another smoke bomb down there, but it looks like they put it out. Saw one underneath the turn 3 grandstands, and then it was gone. Actually got the 12th place car, so this is for position right here with the 9 of Scott Dixon. As we go up to 8th spot, so a few more cars have come into the pits. So I ran really, really low right there. Oh, I'm going to run really, really high as well and touch the wall. Car's not looking too heavily damaged, though, for as much contact as we've had thus far with the wall. Then we've got a bit of the fog of war going on right now. What are we? We're either running this at 9 a.m. in the morning, or we're running this race at like 7 o'clock at night. Not sure which, but it's definitely not the time the Indy 500 takes place, I can tell you that. We send it off into turn 1. Haven't seen a whole lot of other cars yet. Seems like the field is all over on the other side of the track at the moment, as I've actually set my fastest split for this lap. So we might be on for the fastest lap, or our fastest lap of the race. I'm sure we have probably the first 20 fastest laps of the race, even though there's only been 13 laps run so far. But more smoke bombs and down the main straightaway here. Those are kind of the cheap seats, so I would expect the smoke bombs from them. I'm not so sure about the one in turn 1. That's a bit confusing on my part, as I believe the Dixon car behind me came into the pits, so we'll continue to lead this thing, or not lead this thing, but, you know, run 6th. And we're almost coming up to the 20 lap mark, where I'll make my next quick stop. I'm still just not seeing any other cars. Where are they? Where are the other cars? I don't see them. They're nowhere to be found. Man, it's just effortless. I'm using a gamepad. I'm on full filthy casual mode for this race, and it's just... it's pretty good. Pretty easy to drive. I mean, just effortlessly, you just turn in and there's grip. Just catching the white line just a little bit. Crossing the line. Oops, a little bit of grass there. Not the greatest thing in the greatest idea in the entire world to run down there like that. It does look good, the game. You run around the backstretch there and you can see the suspension working and the wheels are rolling and the graphics nice and crisp on the side of the car. It looks pretty good. Yeah, see, look at that. That looks pretty good. Lap 17, catching some lap traffic, as they are getting all coming out of the pits at the same time. Running very low in turn 2 there. A little bit of sparks coming out of the back of my car. Nothing to worry about, at least I don't think. We're still only running in 5th place. Interesting. I would have thought I would be leading with how fast we've been running, it seems like, but it really hasn't been that way. Now, thinking about probably some bad AI strategy is going on right now, if I had to guess. And the AI cars that are in front of me, I would guess, have not made a stop yet. Again, I'm making guesses there, and guessing is always a dangerous business, but I might be right on this one. As we're coming up behind some traffic, gaining a draft, which is helping me down the straight. We go up to 4th place there, so we finally passed a car that has finally made his first quick stop. And this car up here is, I see the position is 20 something, so this is not this is not going to be for position. This is not the third place guy. But this draft is certainly helping my as we kill more cones. This is going to be the cone killing video, I can already tell. This is going to be one of those it's going to be a pretty good lap because of that breaking of wind, so to speak, up in front of me. No, but it wasn't. It was not as good as my best lap. Interesting. So weird to see cones on the inside of 1 and 2, though. Especially because you can't run the entire warm-up lane on the way out. Like, this track is literally designed to have a proper pit exit, guys. Why didn't you let the game use that to come out of the pits? Doesn't make any sense to me. Third place is in, so we're going to pick up third here. As we're on lap 20, I actually should have pitted that time around. Oh well, we'll take third for now. We'll probably lose it on the way back around. But you never know. Could be wrong. We'll see. I don't know what the top two are thinking by not coming into the pits. They may be making a bit of a tactical error, I have to say. All right, here we go. Pit stop time. We're gonna do ultra realistic. There we go. I got right down to 60 there. Did you see how bang on that was? All right, so we're making our second quick stop, and all the cars that are passing me right now have only made their first. It would be nice to see how the leaders are doing. Can I play with the leaderboard? No, I can't. That would have been nice. That would have been really nice. This is another thing about Forza. I hope the next one has, like, it seems like they're starting to go in the direction of a little bit more, like, I don't want to say simulation, but I will say realism. And by realism, I mean, I would like to see pit stops, like proper pit animations and, you know, racecraft and all that stuff. See, doing a long race like this, it kind of lacks some of that stuff. And I think a lot of racing fans want that. And it seems like now that, especially Horizon is a thing that exists and is a thing that's very popular, a lot of the filthy normie casuals are not they're not playing Forza Motorsport anymore because they're not as interested in motorsport. They're interested in going on golf courses and tearing some stuff up, and I don't blame them. But the motorsport game kind of suffered for a little while they tried to pander to the Horizon crowd, and it just they ran off a lot of their audience by doing that, unfortunately. We've actually lost a lap. La Canu Padille up there, the Frenchman, I can only assume, maybe French-Canadian, as we scrape wheels with Graham Rahal there. And he's still to the inside. And we're coming up behind the leader here. Looking at my mirrors for Rahal. Interesting, I haven't even had to get up into 6th gear yet. And of course, into the wall. I mean, I guess I was passing him around the outside, but good lord, man. Like, did your spotter? Oh yeah, there's no spotters in Forza. I was gonna say, did your spotter not tell you? Oh, they're wrecking behind me. Well, this race is kicking off really quick. Good lord. Okay, well, we're in 10th. We wrecked the leader. We're probably going to be gaining some positions here coming out of the pits. No? Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. James Hinchcliffe just about crashed coming out of the pits there, and that doesn't, that's not a good thing when a car spins out of the pits like that. Thankfully, nothing terribly bad happened. Oops. Okay, well that was terribly bad because I went up and smacked the wall because I wasn't paying attention. Good job, David. I have to tell you that I've been on this track before. Obviously not at racing speed, but I think they got... Whoa, okay. What on earth? That was another Hinchcliffe car having trouble getting back out on the track. But I was going to say, I think they got some of the feeling of this track right. Again, it's the banking that I think is the problem. It just looks so highly banked. And especially the faster you go at Indianapolis. Last year I actually rode around the track at about 90, 100 miles an hour with Larry Foyt, a former driver. And the faster you go around this track, the lower the banking looks. And so for this, we're going 229 miles an hour through turn 2. That should look a little bit flatter. I think they've got the narrowness of the track proper. This is definitely how it feels to be actually on the surface. And in a lot of ways, while it looks kind of narrow, it also looks surprisingly wide. It's a very weird sensation to be on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, because the TV coverage makes it look so different than the reality of the situation. Alright, we're coming up to lap 30, and this is the point when I was going to make my third quick stop. And now we're going to find out exactly whether or not my strategy is good or bad, because we're still sitting in 8th position. So really haven't been leading very much of this race. We led early on, but now we're just not quite there. But I guess that's what you want to come see, right? You don't want to see me lead all 50 laps. You want to see me have to compete for it. And that's what we're going to try to do, as we are coming up behind the 7th place car right now. In fact, 6th, 7th, 5th. You know what? We're battling for position. We're going to stay out a little bit longer. I know we got one quick stop to go, but I kind of want to see what this battle looks like, because we're coming up behind the last place car as well. So I lifted off the gas, and that was a wise move, because Graham Rahal lifted off the gas, and now we're coming up alongside James Hinchcliffe. He's got a draft. I do not. Side by side down the straight and into turn 1. A little bit of contact there. Past Connor Daly around the outside. Or not. We found out that you really can't drive around the outside of other drivers, as we're going to get boxed in. Wow, that was a nice pick by Connor Daly there. Ooh, that was contact, and you know what? I think he's missing his front wing. Whoa, we're going to be missing our front wing here in a second. Whoa, Nelly. That was close. Yeah, I think that Pagano car was missing his front wing. Why the team has not replaced it, and why they have that curb out on the track. Somebody hits that, they're going to go flying. We're all the way back to 17th after that spin. Thankfully, it looks like we're still the leader of the cars that have done their 3 quick stops already. So Oblong Robin 1919 is the leader of those cars outside of me right now, and Oblong Robin has not passed me yet. Easy for me to say. So we've still got plenty of opportunities to get back to the front, but here comes Oblong Robin. So we've got to get going, we've got to get going, we've got to get going. There goes Range Rover. That's a car that's not battling me for position. And right out in front of Oblong Robin, and now hopefully we'll say sayonara to Oblong Robin. I love saying Oblong Robin. This is a weird perspective here. It's almost like you're riding on the steering wheel. Very strange. We'll go back to third person here. Go to this outside, this top side view. Now we're starting to get a lot of the pit stops. So is this going to be for position? No, that's La Canu Padil. And good lord, man. I mean, I know I hit the wall there, but he was definitely moving up the track quite a bit on the straight there. Not amazing driving there from the Frenchman or the French-Canadian, but of course I wrecked him earlier. But that was because he didn't give me any room, so whatever. We got some merging traffic up here. Is this going to be for position, or is this going to be cars? Yeah, that was for position, so that was for 16th spot, and I unlapped myself from, well, for now, I unlapped myself from La Canoe Paddle, but it seems like that guy is a bit of a dick, I have to say. Language. And I believe this video is premiering, so I'm sure I'm going to get all the chats that say, hey, watch your language. And you know what, that's fine. Spam that in the chat. I don't care. Go for it. Be my guest. Also, we have Kmart sponsorship. You may have noticed that, because my eye caught the big K on my car. Blockbuster and Kmart. What could go wrong? There's the golf course on the backstretch. Wonderfully modeled. Forza Motorsport 8. Minigame. Golf at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Coming to your Xbox, what would it be? Xbox 4, 460, Xbox 720? I'm surprised they didn't call the Xbox One the Xbox 720. I mean, that seemed like the most easy marketing thing in the entire world, and they didn't do it. But whatever. Alright, we're coming up behind 24th again. This Pagano car, which I think is missing its front wing. We're going to check this time by, if we can. We're getting a huge draft. Yep, he's missing his front wing, so you can knock both of the wings off the car. We determined that you could knock the rear wing off of it in my first play with this, and now, well, we've determined that you can knock the front wing off. So we go up to 14th spot. La Canoe Paddle is in the pits. And I think we may be a little bit further behind than I would have otherwise liked to have been. I think that spin definitely hurt us. And now we're going to have to really send it these last few laps to try to win this thing. So we're at 238 miles an hour. Hitting the cones. Killed about every cone in turn 3. Haven't killed many of them in turn 4 yet. Down the main straightaway. And have we passed anybody? We're probably going to pass this guy, right? Yep, up to 13th. Big group of cars coming through turn 2. And Range Rover is actually for position. So hopefully we'll be passing him very shortly. And then get up to that large pack of cars and really start to do battle. We're at 240 miles an hour into turn 3. Going to dive to the inside because that seems to be the only place you can really pass the Forza AI without them crashing and smashing into you. So we got some pit stops. So there comes another car into the pits. That's the third place car. So we were unlapping ourselves from the third place car. This is the point where I'm like, oh my god, did my strategy completely fail? And it may have. It may have. We'll have to see. The unbeatable AI may get advantages in the pits that we don't know about. Haven't done a single perfect turn, so I guess I'm not going to achieve that multiplier on my score for this race anyway. Got another car pulling off into the pits. This should be a position right. No. That was a back marker. Or a front marker. And if it's a front marker and I was that far behind, that concerns me quite a bit. So we're at 233, 229 coming out of the corner. We're definitely running fast laps. Just I don't know if it's going to be fast enough to win this thing. We're already up to 11th place, so we're looking up on the top 10 here. We're coming up behind La Canoe Paddle. So this was the car that, or not La Canoe, Le Canoe. Apologies to all my francophones out there for misgendering a pronoun. You don't want to do that in French. It's like the first thing they teach you in French class. As we go underneath. Everybody. In fact, as well as the leader. So we've just unlapped ourselves, so that's not good. That means we were a lap down to James Hinchcliffe there, who's flying up behind me. And looked to the inside briefly, but he looked like he had trouble getting around the lap car of Graham Rahal. And we Hildebranded. Awesome. Get to use that reference in this video. Gonna send it off into turn 1. Get in behind Verstappen here. Is that Max Verstappen's gamer tag? The 4th place car is in the pits. Don't know if that means anything at all. Does it mean I will be able to pass them? We'll have to see. Way on the outside. A little higher than I wanted to be in the groove there, I have to admit. Up to 7th. But that was only 1 car in the pits. Now up to 6th. So there was another car in the pits. I almost caught that inside wall there. That would not have been good. In fact, that would have been very bad. Does feel like the tires might be going away just a little bit. As we've got 8 laps to go. 6 positions to go. The 4th place car is in the pits, according to our little log there. Let's go hardcore sim racer again. Even though I'm being a filthy casual playing with a gamepad. Anyway. Catching the draft, the slipstream, 240 almost miles per hour. And this is a lapped car again. So we're up to 5th, but we're only passing lapped cars, lapped vehicles right now. And the 1st place car is in the pits, but we're on the backstretch, so I don't know if we're going to be able to get around the track quick enough to be able to make the pass. And will the rest of the cars? Well, we've got 3rd place in, so we've got first and 3rd in the pits. And we're up to 3rd, so we gained 2 spots there, 2 spots to go. Is this car out in front of me one of those cars? It looks like a James Hinchcliffe car. Are these the cars that I have to race for the win? We're going to find out. With 6 laps to go, still at 239. Scrubbing off a little bit of speed through there at 234 in the short chute. 231 on the corner exit, so that was better that time. Lap 45, that was my fastest lap of the race. Something's finally going right. Yes, this is 2nd place. So 1st place is somewhere up the road, and I'm going to have to pass 2nd, obviously, before I get to 1st. And 1st is in. 1st is in the pit, so now this is the battle for the win between me and the 2nd place car. And I just hope, for the sake of this video, that he doesn't pit right now, because then we're not going to have quite as interesting or exciting of a finish. But right now, it looks like we are going to have a race. Sitting in 2nd place in the Forza 7 Indy 500, and 1st is starting to get bigger and bigger in our sights. Easy for me to say. Come on, pick up the draft down the backstretch. We're at 239, not quite 240 once again. I don't think we're close enough yet to really pick up a massive tow, get above 240 miles an hour, and really get after him. But we are closing in slowly but surely. Are we going to run out of laps, though? Lap 47. I was a 10th faster that time around than I have been the rest of the race. And oh yeah, we're catching him. Oh boy. This is pucker time. Hold it to close them belts tight. What is it again? Pull them belts tight one more time. There we go. I will channel Larry McReynolds at some point. Looks like 3 and 4 wasn't quite as good for me that time. Wasn't able to close in as much as I would have liked. Lap 48. 3 laps to go, I believe. Of course, if you count the way we count, it's lap 48, lap 49, lap 50, so that's 3 to go. And we are catching him now. Come on. Surely I'm close enough for a draft now. Well, the draft got me 3 miles an hour. From 239 to 242 on the way in. Oh, this is excruciatingly long. And he's in, and Harvey pants, to use a Alan Bestwick line, but we take the lead on lap 49. 2 laps to go. I think this is right about the time, maybe a couple of laps later, than when Will Power took the lead in the real Indy 500 last year. And now we're going to get 2 laps to try to hang on to it. Well, this was the lap, I think, that J.R. Hildebrand took the lead in 2011. And again, we saw how that went for him. So it's not over till it's over, as more cars are peeling off into the pits, finishing their quick stop strategy. And I guess I did it right. So we're crossing the line now. White flag is out at Indianapolis. And we're just going to hang it around, just try to get it to the finish. The white line is the friend. The white wall is not. Down the back straightaway. About to join Forza Motorsport Immortality. As I dive down towards the apex of turn 3, right out next to the wall. And through turn 4, this is where it ended for Hildebrand. It won't end for me. Forza 7, Indy 500, your winner, moi. All right. That was a long race, but again, we didn't lead the entire thing, and I was worried that it wasn't going to be very entertaining. Though I wished I would have been able to make the final pass for the lead. That would have been probably the coolest thing. And Oblong Robin ended up finishing second. So it definitely looks like the earlier you get your quick stops out of the way, the better. Because the folks who did it later really suffered to the people who finished their pit stops early. So that was the Indianapolis 500 in Forza Motorsport 7. Did you enjoy this? Did it frustrate you? How do you feel about Forza 7 IndyCar racing? Let me know down in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been David Land on YouTube. We'll see you in the next video.